Well, hey everybody, it's Bug Eater 64, and I'm just sitting here on the 2nd of January enjoying a fine cup of coffee and was flying my UH-1 in DCS World. Now, this is going to be, once again, a showing of the issues we have with the replay system in DCS World. As per normal, I failed to videotape my initial flight. Now, my initial flight was from Kobuleti, and then I was flying down to kill some bad guys not far from there, down near a city, which was just south west of Kobuleti, and went in there, and two F-16s had gone in and evidently made two ground attacks and taken out the air defenses. So all I had was some ground targets to take care of, and I went in there and just shot them up, killed 22 different targets, and had a great time. Flew back to Kobuleti, landed without incident. So then I said, well, let's go ahead and record the replay. So I recorded the replay. Everything was going great until about my third pass, I think, or second pass over the target area. And all of a sudden, the Huey flew into the ground. Now, my gunner was still sitting there just shooting up bad guys, which was kind of cool. So, but again, it shouldn't have happened. So I went ahead and ended it, and the screen came up telling me, watch the track. So I said, let's go ahead and watch the track. So I did. And it went ahead and flew the mission and again shot up the bad guys, but this time continued to head southwest out over the ocean, and that's where the mission ended. Didn't crash, didn't fly back to base, just ended there. So luckily I use TACView, and TACView, so I can show you my track for the initial flight. And so we're going to go ahead and look at that too. And you can see that I fly all the way back to Kobuleti and land without incident. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started on this. And I certainly hope that you enjoy it. It was a lot of fun to do. Okay, so here we are at Kobuleti. Helicopter's set up, pretty much ready to go. We're getting ready to
turn off the ground power.
Get rid of the ground power because I had had a problem trying to start up the helicopter, and so I had to connect ground power in order to get the engine started. Don't know why. It's a very rare thing, but it does happen from time to time. So we got that done, and now I've got even though the power has been disconnected, I have a warning light saying external power. So it's not going to come off, so I'm just going to fly the whole flight with it on there because I don't care. And that's the way it is. Right now is the first replay. And in the lower right hand corner is the second replay account. So let's watch what happens. I brought up my knee board to look where I was going to be going from Kobuleti, but at this point it's immaterial. At this point also, the F-16, 2 different F-16s have made their runs against the air base that we're going to be trying to attack, which is, I think it's an auxiliary field from Copoletti. So we're going to lift off and be on our way. And then, like I said, the main screen in the middle is the first replay, and then the one in the lower right is the watch track replay. We're flying this mission in multiplayer server Kirk's air, and we are in the Caucasus during winter. Can you tell? And if you look at off in the distance there, you can see those little red dots. Those are the bad guys. So that's where we're headed. We're not going to make a direct route. We're going to head towards the coast. Because what I was looking for, I wanted to get on the outskirts of the town and see if there was a way that I could maybe sneak in, do a pop-up type attack, because at this point I didn't realize if there were still any anti-air available at the airfield, and so I wanted to try to sneak in to hit targets. My crew used the miniguns to the best effect and most damage. I find that they are a lot more accurate in most cases. If I'm not real close, if I am doing kind of a standoff type maneuver and almost hovering, they're much more accurate. Now, if I'm making a fast pass, then I just have to make sure I'm fairly close to the targets, and they're pretty good at hitting them. So that's what we were working towards in this flight. Just off the coast, there were 3 ships that were all listed as enemy ships, but they were empty cargo ships, and I wasn't going to do a lot of damage with the miniguns. The cargo ships off the coast, but I wasn't going to attack them today. I'm going to do my best to hinder the enemy's ability to use that airport over there. And about this time, I ended up with a master caution light, and so in order to take care of it and to work the problem, I decided I was going to land right down here by the high-rises. I could take my time and look at it, figure out the best way to work the problem, and see if I could fix it. I come in pretty fast and just do basically a combat sliding stop. But on a beach with snow, no real problem. So we'll get down here and work the problem. And all the buildings will shield us from any prying eyes or guns that may be pointed our way. Which it turned out later there weren't any. Anti-air was all taken care of if it had ever been there. So, once I was down, I was able to look at the master caution more closely. Turned out it was engine icing. So it was just a matter of flipping on the anti-ice, which I should have done before takeoff. But this is the first time I've flown in winter in a very, very long time. So we got that taken care of, and we'll go ahead and take off and go kill some bad guys. Got that one light off, but never could get the external power light to go out. Don't know why, but it didn't. But it didn't seem to affect anything in the flight, so we just kept trucking along. And it turned out to be a really pretty day in the Caucasus. Yeah, originally I was very worried about those ships offshore that maybe, they might shoot at me, but then it turned out they were empty cargo ships. So that eliminated the worry of that threat. And reset our takeoff trim. And we'll prepare to get out of here. very shortly, in the upper left-hand corner, I'm going to plug in my TAC view. Copy of my initial flight, which had all this, plus the fly back to Ovalati, or back to the airfield, and a landing. Now, I didn't sync it up really with these two because I was doing that replay at anywhere from normal speed up to 10 times as fast, just to get to certain areas that I was looking into. So, but it does show the fact that in my initial flight, which was not videoed, there was no crash. But here we are. We're getting ready to, I'm looking to see which is the best way to maybe sneak through the trees here. Worried about the possibility of some, unfriendly jets in the area, but that never showed itself. So I thought I'd just kind of very slowly inch my way through the trees here and get to a point where I could just about get into a hover and let the gunners do their thing. None of the woods were really dense enough for me to do a proper pop-up attack to move in and stuff like that, so I just thought we'd do it this way. Already doing some damage. So just remember that the main screen, the biggest picture, is of the first replay. The lower right hand corner is the watch track replay, or the second one. And then in the upper left hand corner is my TAC view of my initial unvideoed flight, which went perfectly. All three are different. A lot of trucks down there. Just take them out. I think I ended up the mission with a total of 22 kills. Well, it was an excellent mission. Took my time. F-16s had done their job well and taken out the targets that may have been a threat. I could just, pretty much at my leisure, just knock out trucks. And as you can see, the first two replays up to this point are pretty much identical. Quite excellent. I was doing these runs, I ended up destroying every single vehicle that was on this airfield. And then immediately it respawned reinforcements. And I ended up taking out a couple of those vehicles and then headed back to my air base. Now at this point, in the upper left-hand corner, you can see I'm on my way back to the airbase. Flight 1 and 2, I'm getting ready for high-speed run. Shoot up some more bad guys. We set on fire are blowing up, so we're getting credit for the kills. And at that point, I believe every vehicle on that airfield was destroyed. Then they're going to respawn with more reinforcements. Everything is destroyed there right now. And in the upper left-hand corner, I have returned to the airbase, and at this point, I am preparing to land. Which goes without incident. Life is good, all is well. We did our job. Mission complete. Scoop them up. Replay 1. Crash land. Wargunner's still doing his thing. Bless his heart. Shooting things up, blowing them up. We're going to get credit for the kills. And in replay 2, we have stopped the attack and we are heading out to sea. And he runs out of bullets. And there we are, out over the ocean. Replay number 2. Tells me that if I want to make a video in DCS World, I have to remember, just go ahead, even if I don't think anything's going to happen worthwhile, just videotape everything live, and then we'll go from there. So anyway, another great flight, great day. Happy New Year. Okay, so there we have it. The mission was complete. We did some good things. Never got shot down. The only issues we had was in the replays, which is an ongoing, forever issue with DCS World. I don't know what the problem is, why they can't fix it, but their replay system and watching the track just doesn't work the way it should. It's very aggravating, especially if I videotape a flight and then I want to add a replay, maybe from a different view angle, and very often I can't do it because the replay or watching the track just doesn't match what my flight was. So that's very aggravating and frustrating. And I wish that's one thing that the DCS World people would look at. I know it's been brought up in the forums, and I've brought it up in the forums. So hopefully in the future they'll fix that. They've been doing some great updates lately, and some mods have come out, but this is something that has been an ongoing problem ever since I started flying in DCS World, and it's something that needs to be addressed. So we can only hope for the future. Anyway, this is Bug Eater, hoping everybody has a great new year in 2020. And I hope you enjoyed the video, enjoyed the flight, and we will see you very soon. And until then, Bug Eater 64 to all my friends, safe flying.